Welcome to part 3 of pouring daisies in watercolor. In part 1, we started with our drawing, masked it, and poured our first layer with fairly light pigments. In part 2, we masked it after the painting had dried, and then using more concentrated paints, poured it once again. Now in part 3, we'll do the final masking and the final pour. And then you can see, after all of that, the final glow. You can find links to parts 1 and 2 above. I'm masking over the second layer. Now it is time for the last pour. I have already wet the paper. I'm a little uncertain about what will happen, and I have introduced another color, Winsor Violet, to try to get some very dark darks. I have yellow simply as a correction. I don't know if I'll use it, nor do I know if I will use red. At this point, it only makes sense to use Winsor Blue and Winsor Violet to get the dark values that I seek, which are mostly around the flowers, except if you look at the reference photo, it is all around the composition. It's everywhere. But I'd like to preserve some of these lights and restrict my pours to the areas that I think will benefit most from a deeper value. So I'm going to start with blue. Here and here. And a little here. So I want to get as much excess off as I can because I want to try to isolate working on the left side from the right side. That's what I mean to say. Let's see, I do need a little bit there because of this flower. Some of these things. And now I'm going to bring in some violet. And it has completely overwhelmed the other colors. I knew that would happen. I did it anyway. All because I wanted some value. Wanted some value. to just drop in a little bit Winsor Violet instead of letting it overwhelm the whole thing. Let's see if I can fix that and get rid of that ugly brown color. Oh. I've completely lost any red. Talk about experimentation. This is an experiment gone wild. I actually haven't done it like this in over 10 years. So you're seeing me fake it. And I made up the purple to try to get a very, very dark value. That was the reason. But it just so overwhelmed things. One of the reasons why I keep blotting the edge is so that if I have a lot of paint at the edge when it's drying, I'll get a blossom, a backwash. And this one might cause it too, but I was trying to get that value where I think it should be. Just dab a teeny weeny bit. There we go. Here's the dried painting after the final pour. And it's kind of interesting looking. It looks like a little bit like a batik to me. I'm going to start taking off the tape and the masking fluid. This is called a rubber cement pickup. See if you can see that. It's not really rubber cement, it's masking fluid, but similar. Sometimes I do it that way. And you have to use your finger. If you've never worked with masking fluid, you have to use your finger to feel where it is because you can't see it all. It's important to remove it as soon as possible. I had a painting years ago that would have been a really nice painting, but I left the masking fluid on for several weeks thinking, oh, I'll get to it. And boy, did it become one with the paper. That was that. And of course, it turned yellow over time, and that was not what I wanted. It was otherwise a nice painting. Well, I'm going to stop for now. I'll probably go back again and I'll feel, oh, there's another spot. Work with it. But you can see what it looks like. It's not like the flower I did, the pink lily, where I poured the background and then I painted the rest of it. I did all my painting with masking fluid. And so because it's a little bit harder to see where the masking fluid goes, it's not as exact. It's more whimsical. The good news is that the masking fluid performed well. It didn't get underneath the masking fluid the paint did not get underneath the masking fluid as I feared it had. It was just that the paint had dried on top of the masking fluid and it looked like it was underneath it. It was not. Here is the painting with all of the masking fluid removed. If you're interested in learning how to paint a floral where the foundation is poured and the rest is done with the brush, check out this video.